that you said it's you and Joshua here. Now, is this fight done? What are we talking about?
You know, it's going to happen. Like, seriously, it's going to happen. We were talking with Turki tonight, negotiations live in person, which are always fun. But it's going to happen, and it's just such an exciting fight that crosses the whole globe.
What Jake Paul doing in boxing. It's good for boxing to have young generation.
Picture this, Jake Paul lacing up the gloves to fight Anthony Joshua. Sounds like a deleted scene from a boxing-themed comedy, but somehow it's becoming a real conversation.
Where are you on this nonsense?
Where am I? I can't see it happening. I can't. Although yes, lots of money, so on and so forth. I can't see it.
But Tyson Fury is treating it like a serious proposition. He'd slap £1 million on Jake Paul to knock out Anthony Joshua. That's right, Jake problem child Paul, YouTuber turned puncher, flattening AJ like a garden chair at a barbecue.
Do you actually think Jake Paul knocks out Joshua? Seriously?
Jake Paul chins AJ, yes, they fight.
Are you serious?
100%. If they fight, I'm putting £1 million on Jake Paul.
What?
Yeah.
Fury didn't blink, he said. I want some free money. Like Jake's fists were ATM machines and Joshua's chin was made of paper mache. It wasn't just banter, it was savage, chaotic and classic Fury.
If Jake Paul fights Anthony Joshua, I'm putting £1 million on Jake Paul.
You put £1 million? What the f***? Why would you do that?
Just because I want some free money.
But while Fury lit the match with his wild prediction, Jake Paul poured gasoline on it with a straight face and serious intent. His reaction to Tyson betting £1 million on him to knock out Anthony Joshua, cool, confident and full of belief. Jake called Fury a smart man who sees what he sees. AJ looking a little past his prime. He wasn't shocked, just fired up. People always doubt me, he said. But that's how I proved them wrong.
He's a smart guy. He sees what I see, which is a weakness in somebody who's been fighting a bit too long, and people underestimate me and doubt me, and that's what they've done their whole career, but that's why I want the fight. I'm going to prove the world wrong.
He's already deep in talks, making moves, and pushing to turn this fantasy into a real fight. Whether it's this year or next, Jake's not just dreaming, he's coming for AJ. And that £1 million vote of confidence just turned up the heat. And just when you thought the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua talk couldn't get any crazier, enter Turki Alalshikh with a plot twist that belongs in a Hollywood script. When asked about Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua, the man didn't even flinch, just smiled and said, "Why not? It's a win-win deal."
Are you really talking about a fight between him and Anthony Joshua?
Why not? It is win-win deal. He's guest for Queensberry, and we are talking now about the future. Let's see.
Win-win? Only Turki could say that with a straight face while pairing a YouTuber with a former unified world champ, like it's a tag team. He said Jake was a guest of Queensberry, but let's be real, Jake showing up ringside in Saudi feels more like foreshadowing than a casual invite. Turki's talking about the future, and apparently that future includes Jake Paul trying to land a punch on a man who sent heavyweights into orbit.
What Jake Paul doing in boxing. It's good for boxing to have young generation. I am against some kinds of fight he do. I want to tell you example and surprise. I am thinking me and him to doing him against Joshua now. Joshua, if he destroy him, it will be good for me.
Oh, and here's the kicker. He teased no more pay-per-view, as if turning this circus into a global free-for-all wasn't crazy enough. Somewhere out there, boxing purists are crying into their belts while Turki just keeps stacking up billion-dollar dream cards like it's a Netflix playlist. And just like that, the boxing world has another unexpected storm brewing. Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua isn't just internet talk anymore. It's echoing through press rooms and lighting up negotiation tables. If this clash becomes reality, it won't just break the internet, it might body slam the entire pay-per-view system.
I like it, and I don't like the way that Jake Paul gravitates to these brilliant athletes and like a moth sucks the life out of them because he gets a benefit of association, because I think they deserve all the association. But he is a and there is opportunity there.
We're talking about Jake Paul, the YouTuber who boxed his way out of vlogs, now eyeing AJ like he's a stepping stone instead of a heavyweight monster. It's chaos versus class, clout versus credentials. One's known for knockouts, the other for knock-knock jokes turned left hooks. Fans think AJ will fold Jake like a lawn chair, but Jake, He's out here shadowboxing destiny and talking deals with more confidence than Wi-Fi in a Starbucks.
Anthony Joshua is an insane fight, but I want that challenge. We've been DMing back and forth. He wants to make it happen. He called me up, and it's looking very likely for next year.
Eddie Hearn was clearly baffled by all the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua talk. He said it feels like we're living in a bizarre world. One minute you're watching Usyk box like a pound-for-pound genius, and the next, Jake Paul is squaring up to him like he's ready for war. Eddie couldn't believe it either. He said if Jake is actually serious about fighting AJ and not just talking trash, then sure, they'll make the fight.
I wouldn't be surprised if he thinks he's got a chance against Anthony Joshua. You know, Jake, I watched him, Jake. You'll knock him out. Yeah. It's like, you know, basing our career around a potential fight with Jake Paul. But if we were offered it, why not? I mean, it would be such an easy night's work.
But he warned Jake with a straight face. This ain't a game, this ain't a YouTube video, this is physically dangerous. Translation: this isn't a Logan Paul WWE cameo, this is AJ, and he hits like a wrecking ball on Red Bull. Eddie even joked that Jake versus AJ might outsell Crawford versus Canelo, which says everything about today's boxing circus. He said he texted AJ after the recent Dubois fight and told him, "We really should have beaten Dubois." AJ's reply, just 2 words, no comment. Like even AJ couldn't believe what he was seeing in boxing right now.
Actually the fight that does the biggest numbers in the sport. Forget Canelo Crawford, that doesn't even touch the surface of, and I can't believe I'm saying it, of AJ against Jake Paul. If you want to do the biggest numbers in the sport, we'll make it happen, but please, I just want to be careful what you wish for.
Guess who's next to jump into the chaos? None other than John Fury, storming in like a pub bouncer with a megaphone. In classic Fury fashion, he sent a thunderous message to Anthony Joshua, practically begging him not to take a dive against Jake Paul, not even for $1 billion. According to Big John, if AJ doesn't steamroll Jake, the fight's rigged like a bad game of Monopoly.
Anthony, listen to me. Don't take a dive with this Jake Paul, mate. Do not do that, not for $1 billion, my pal. Don't do as the others have done. Do not take dives. If he fights, you knock him dead as a nip.
He even claimed that Joshua could knock Jake Paul out using his ding-dong. Well, let's just say not his fists. That's how mismatched he thinks this fight would be. His warning was loud and unfiltered. If this goes the other way, it's all scripted nonsense. Only John Fury could turn a boxing prediction into a mic-dropping roast session and somehow make it sound like a Game of Thrones battle cry.
Don't take dives. If he fights, you knock him dead as a nip. Joshua could knock Jake Paul out with his If it goes any other way, you know it's fixed, don't you?
Luke Rockhold wasn't just throwing shade. He brought an entire eclipse when the topic of Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua came up. The man was baffled. In fact, Rockhold looked at the idea like someone just asked him if a house cat could wrestle a lion. "What the F are we doing?" he said, genuinely confused if the world had collectively lost its mind. According to Luke, Jake Paul stepping in with AJ is like bringing a Nerf gun to a military drill. He mocked Jake's footwork, saying he moves like a clunky white boy with no rhythm. Basically, if Awkward had a boxing stance, Jake owns the patent.
Well, people, who the f is paying attention and watching and tuning in? Because Jake, you move like a white boy, dog. You move horrible. You look like you're clunky as and you got no rhythm.
Rockhold was straight up insulted by the idea of Jake climbing the heavyweight ladder after beating an old, washed-up Chavez Jr. at 165 pounds and magically getting ranked while real fighters grind daily. He didn't just shut down the idea, he wanted to personally cancel Jake's route before it even gets to AJ, saying, "Go fight us first," like a bouncer blocking the door to the heavyweight VIP section. According to Rockhold, Jake's got everything to gain and nothing to lose, except maybe his teeth.
Man, Jake's winning. Jake's beating these guys. He's just very smart at picking the right opponents. He picks the right opponents perfectly. You know, people are out of their minds thinking Mike Tyson was going to beat him. Jake could have knocked him out in the first round.
So there you have it. Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua has officially crossed over from a wild Twitter fantasy to a global boxing soap opera, starring YouTubers, billionaires, and the entire Fury family yelling from the rooftops. From Tyson betting $1 million, to John Fury threatening chaos, to Turki Alalshikh throwing fuel on fire, and Luke Rockhold clowning Jake's footwork like it's a school dance gone wrong. This thing is madness on steroids. Whether it happens or not, One thing's for sure, boxing's never been this unpredictable, unfiltered and unmissable. If you love the drama, the madness and the mayhem of boxing's wild new era, make sure to like, share and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters. We're ringside for the chaos, so you don't miss a punch.